As everybody knows, our audiovisual is based on theory from the book. Could you please mention 5 theoretical aspects which we used in our audiovisual?
Yeah, our audiovisual is based on theory of nonverbal communication. We used 5 theoretical aspects: kinesics, paralanguage, haptics, proxemics, and olfactics. Kinesics is to transmit information through the body, such as hands, arms, legs, and face. Paralanguage use of the voice, volume, and pitch, rate, and so forth. For example, Chinese people will be shy in the new environment, and their voices also became small, or they don't want to talk too much. Haptics refers to the use of touch for communication, such as Dutch meet each other would kiss on the cheek, or someone don't like hugging, and when they meet on first, don't like hugging. The proxemics is a branch of anthropology's studies of space utilization and disposal rules for space utilization. The interpretation of personal space varies with the culture, and around the person, maybe 0.6 to 1.5 meters is normally for personal space. And olfactics, a person's ethnicity, social class, and status communication. Many cultures establish norms for acceptable and unacceptable sense associate with the human body. The big example is perfume.
Guys, come in.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Whoa, man! Is that a bonsai tree?
Are you sure?
Not really. No.
Seriously, why are you so late? We waited here for so long. We did the breakfast and everything, and you don't care or what?
What is the goal of your audiovisual?
Our goal is to improve the understanding of intercultural nonverbal communication.
And who is your target group?
Our target group are international intercultural students.
And what message did you want to get across?
Our message is that there are many misunderstandings between people from different cultures, and they should get aware of others' nonverbal communication.
Right, and why do you think your message is relevant for your target group?
The message is relevant for our target group because there is a constant clash between cultures in students' daily life.
Do you think you have achieved your goal? From your audiovisual, which examples illustrated your goal or message best, and why those?
Okay, I would say we have achieved our goal more or less. Of course, we can only make assumptions since we didn't receive any feedback yet. So, as we wanted to highlight nonverbal communication and how this may lead to misunderstandings between different cultures, I would say the example, a good example would be where the roommates greet each other for the first time. And, well, for example, Jenna is coming from a low-context, individualistic culture and expects to greet with a handshake, whereas Tristan, who comes from a high-context, vertical collectivistic culture, intends just to greet with nodding with his head. And because this is a custom habit of greeting. And, well, Pablo, he comes from a low-context, horizontal collectivistic background, And he is more of a direct person. He's just hugging others for greeting, because he has this more well, direct and loose behavior. And moreover, the scene with the new perfume would be a good example for showing the different olfactic perceptions that clash together because of the various cultural backgrounds. What would you do differently in terms of contents if you had to do the assignment again?
Well, actually, we had a scene where Tristan asks Martin, "We really want to know why you are so late." And we took this scene off because we understood that it would not be appropriate considering his collectivistic cultural background. And also, if we wanted to focus more on cultural characteristics rather than funny situation, well, we would take some actions from movie. For example, Martin spitting on the towel, because it's kind of irrelevant to the situation, and we left it only to make it more acceptable or charming. Well, that's pretty much it. So, could you state what you have learned from this assignment?
What I've learned from this assignment is that I could prevent some misunderstandings if I get aware of other cultures' behavior. Nonverbal communication is all around us, and it's even more used than verbal communication, so understanding others' perception would help us to communicate better.
So, could you state what you have learned from this audiovisual project?
Well, shooting a 10-minute video wasn't that easy as I thought it was in the beginning. I mean, it was a rather complex process when everybody stated their own opinion, started discussing whether or whether or not it was important, and yeah, if it has to be included in the project. So all in all, I would say it was a really exhausting project, but it was also a lot of fun, and well, I would say that it all taught us a great deal of teamwork.
From our assignment, I learned a lot of words with nonverbal communication and knew the definition for it, and I found it the nonverbal communication is important for international students because that's a part of intercultural exchange. I thought everyone liked smelling perfume, but Martin, who comes from Bulgaria, doesn't like it.
So what did you learn from this assignment?
Well, first I would like to say that this project brought a great deal of fun. From the first day we spent many hours shooting the movie and even more hours discussing what would be appropriate for these scenes. However, I've learned some interesting nuances of communication between people from different cultural backgrounds. And also, while being together with my group, I have learned that everybody can do something, everybody can input something. And I think that this is a great experience for our teamwork. And without that, there were many other things, but I think that these were the main things. Yeah. In the scene where roommates are chatting, Tristan stays quiet throughout the conversation. He explains it by his lack of language knowledge. However, is this really the case?
Partly. It's not only about his level of knowledge, but also because of his culture. For example, a guy who comes from America, even if he doesn't know the language well, he will try to communicate. The Chinese guy is worried if he make a mistake and he doesn't feel so free to talk. He wants to save his face in front of his roommates, and he's pretty shy.
I can feel the color running as it's fading from my face. Try to speak but nothing